Wow. What a great performance by this young Phoenix Suns team. They get the victory at home for game one, and they take a 1-0 lead in this series. I gotta tell you, man, I really enjoy watching this Suns team play basketball, and I am rooting for them. This is the team I want to get to the finals, not just because they're a fun team, but because I want to see Chris Paul play in an NBA Finals. His career cannot end without him at least being in one NBA Finals, so hopefully they can get there this year. But man, this team's fun to watch because they just get everybody involved. The team is deep, and they got young guys that could just make plays. And when they're all playing together like this, it's a beautiful thing to see. Now, it's always nice to see the superstars go off and have legendary performances, but I like it when we get to see everybody get involved. And in this game, everybody got involved. 4 players on the Suns scored 20-plus points. Ayton, CP3, Booker, and Bridges. Bridges brought the intensity. Let me tell you, for the first 3 quarters, this man was doing his thing. While CP3 himself wasn't doing much in the first 3 quarters, Bridges was bringing that scoring input that they needed to help both Ayton and Booker. So they were holding it down, but CP3 kind of took over in that 4th quarter. Overall, this Suns team looked amazing. As for the Nuggets, MPJ, Campazzo, and Gordon. These 3 brought it tonight. They brought the intensity. They looked great. They played great. Campazzo was really killing it in the first half, but then he slowed down in the second half. I think he had 11 points in the first half, only 3 points in the second half. Didn't really do much there, but he brought the energy early on. MPJ has been impressing everybody, and he continues to impress. Gordon himself also looked nice today. Now, Jokic himself, he played well, but he didn't play great. He didn't play like the MVP we know he can play as. And he's going to need to play at that level if the Nuggets want to get out of this round and get to the conference finals. Because, man, he had 22 and 9 tonight, but here's the issue where it comes into it, where it's like you really need Jokic to show up and do what he's doing. He had 22 and 9. Ayton had 20 and 10. He matched what Jokic did. If Ayton is able to match what Jokic is going to bring to the table, the Nuggets have no chance to win this series. So they're going to have to figure it out. They're going to have to figure it out. They're going to have to play better, and Jokic is going to have to go off because he got support today. Guys came as well. But Jokic himself, there wasn't that much there, and you got to give credit to the Suns defense because they played well. If there's one thing the Nuggets learned tonight, is that this team is not like Portland. This is not a team that you could just go ahead and be able to play and be free and flow and be able to score against consistently. This team plays like defense. Of course, Nuggets, you dealt with Portland, but that team don't play defense. The Suns play defense, and they play defense well. These guys know how to trap. These guys know how to force. They know how to bring pressure and force you to make errors and force you to turn the ball over and force you to take bad shots. This Suns team knows how to play defense, and they brought that pressure in the second half, and the Nuggets could not match that intensity. That 3rd quarter was game over for them, so they have to figure it out. Back to the Suns. Man, you just got to love what you're getting. Another person I didn't mention, Crowder. Man, Crowder did well. He came in with 14 points today. He was hitting threes. He was also bringing that intensity, and you got to love what you're just seeing. One thing I can give credit to both teams is that the ball movement today was fantastic. Both teams were getting all the players involved. They were moving the ball well, setting dudes up, passing, utilizing the pick and roll. It was nice seeing both these teams play this well, get everyone involved, passing the ball around, and just great ball movement by both teams all around. And that was a big part of why the game was so close going into halftime. Because it was 28-28 at the end of the first quarter, and then I believe it was like 58-57 going into halftime. And then you get to the second half, and the Nuggets, they start off by playing well. I think they had like a 9-1 start in the 3rd quarter, which gave them like an 8-point lead. And they just started making moves and doing their thing. So it looked like the Nuggets coming out of halftime were ready to go. But this Suns team flipped the switch and turned it on. And man, they proceeded to go on a 16-0 run. And they took the lead. And then they just continued to get hot and hit their shots and make play after play after play as they're making stop after stop after stop on defense. They finished the quarter on a 25-7 run and completely opened up the game for them to take over in the fourth quarter. Now, as I said, CP3 in the first three quarters wasn't really doing much scoring-wise, but he was assisting the ball, being the leader he is, setting his guys up, doing what CP3 always does. Devin Booker was scoring here and there. Ayton was just eating in the paint and making play after play after play. And, of course, Bridges just having a scoring output tonight, doing his thing. But then you get to the fourth quarter, and the leader of the team decides he wants to ice this game. Chris Paul, let me tell you something. Chris Paul's back. Chris Paul's back. He is fine, and he is doing his thing. This fourth quarter came, and this guy started hitting shot after shot after shot after shot, even hitting a step-back three. I believe he was 6 for 6 in the fourth quarter. CP3 couldn't miss. He was making everything. And that's how he ended up finishing the game with like 21 points, because I think he had 5 going into the fourth, like 5 or 6 points. And then he just took off and he just couldn't miss. And it was amazing. CP3 is back. He finishes the game with, I believe, 21 and 11. So he got a double-double, his first double-double of this postseason. He was just going off and doing his thing. The team was vibing. They were doing their thing. They were scoring. And again, they continued to move the ball around and get everyone else involved. With the Nuggets, they started to struggle. And they were trying to move the ball around. But because they were kind of struggling to get points and the pressure that the Suns were putting on them defensively, they started forcing up threes. They started taking bad shots. And Jokic himself, well, he pretty much disappeared in the fourth. You didn't see much from him. There was nothing the Nuggets could really do because the Suns bust the game open because of how they played in that third quarter. And the Nuggets couldn't match them because they couldn't stop them offensively. And they were struggling to put up points defensively. Like we said, the Nuggets aren't used to this, going up against this defensive pressure, because again, they just spent 6 games going up against a Portland team that doesn't play defense. So they got a big surprise today. Now, I'm sure they're going to make adjustments. They're not going to panic. Neither team is going to panic. Neither coach is going to panic, depending on how the series goes. This was game 1. The Suns did their thing. They balled out. They vibed out. They did what they needed to do, and they took care of business at home in game 1. The Nuggets, they got to understand, it's a long series. They're not going to worry. They're going to try to make some adjustments and see what they can do. One thing they definitely have to do for game 2 is they have to try and get Jokic involved early on. He has to set the tone. And this really comes down to the matchup between Jokic and Ayton. Because if Jokic is not able to dominate, and he's not able to put up an MVP type performance, and he's not able to outplay Ayton, this is going to be a short series. Because you can't have what you got in game 1. 22-9 from Jokic, and then 20-10 from DeAndre Ayton? No. You cannot have DeAndre Ayton matching the same level of production you're getting from Jokic. There's no way the Nuggets could be able to win this game if that's happening. So, Jokic, you're going to have to set the tone. You're going to have to be aggressive. You're going to have to go off. Because, again, tonight, the production you got from the other guys wasn't that bad. But you didn't get that big-time performance from Jokic, so there was not much to get here. If Jokic would have dropped 40 points, there's a good chance they could have won this game. Because when you have your guys out there, when you have an MPJ going off and doing this thing, when you have an Aaron Gordon going off and doing his thing as well, both of them providing you, I believe Gordon had 18 points and I think MPJ had 17. When you have these guys showing up and giving you this production, and then you got Campazzo giving you 14 as well, if Jokic could have gone off tonight, they would have had a better chance. But credit to the Suns defense and credit to DeAndre Ayton because he matched whatever Jokic gave you. So this is going to be an issue. They're going to have to make some adjustments, and Jokic is going to have to play like the MVP he's supposed to be. The way he played this season, we need to see that. We need an MVP type performance from Jokic throughout the rest of this series if they're going to be able to win. Because if he can't play like that, and the Ayton continues to match him in production, it's going to be a short series. So it was a great game one. Expect the Nuggets to come out and perform better in game two. They will make adjustments. Expect the Suns to try and come out with the same intensity at home in game two. And we'll just see what happens and we'll see how it goes. With that being said, great win by the Suns. Great way to start out the series. Taking that 1-0 lead. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully you guys can get to the conference finals, but we'll see what happens. That's all I got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.